By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to choose the right aesthetic school for you, your lifestyle, your goals, and your future. You'll even learn what questions to ask, what red flags to avoid, and how to spot the difference between a program that just gives you a license and one that actually helps you build a career. Every week, I meet beauty professionals who regret where they went to school. They chose a program that was close or cheap, and now they're sitting on a license, but they don't really know what to do with it. And if you don't know what to look for, it's easy to get overwhelmed and end up stuck in student loans, no structure, and no real support. And that's exactly what happened to me. And so that's what this video is here to prevent. We're gonna break it all down, no fluff, no gatekeeping. And whether you're looking and comparing schools right now or just starting to explore your options, this video will help you make a decision that actually sets you up for success. So let's get into it. So here are the 3 biggest mistakes that we see future estheticians make when picking a program. Mistake number 1 is choosing based on looks. Just because a school looks cute doesn't mean that it's going to prepare you for real life. A modern lobby doesn't equal modern training. We've seen schools with perfect branding, big names, but then when you look at the curriculum, it's outdated, it's unlicensed, and they don't even teach you any of the advanced skills, or they don't actually teach you what you need to know to actually get a job. And again, that modern lobby is cute and all, but it doesn't equal modern training. Mistake number 2 is picking based on price instead of value. We certainly get it that tuition matters, but here's the mistake. Choosing the cheapest school without looking at the value of what's included is a big issue. So does the program include job placement? Are the hours flexible? Is it licensed or accredited if necessary? And do they help you build a brand, resume, or your service menu? If all you're paying for is a license but not the support to use it, you'll end up paying again later for mentorship or business coaching. So think long-term return, not short-term costs. Cheap school means expensive consequences. And mistake number 3 is not asking the right questions. Too many future students walk into a tour not knowing what to ask and then walk out more confused than when they came in. And here are questions that you should be asking. Is the program hybrid or in person? Do you actually help your students after graduation? What's your placement rate? Can I talk to graduates? And what's the real schedule like week to week? If a school avoids these questions or gives you vague answers, that's a red flag. And you're not just enrolling in a school, you're investing in your future, and you deserve clear answers, not confusion. So if a school avoids your questions, that's the answer. So before you let another ad or DM convince you where to enroll, pause, think deeper, and ask better questions. You're not looking for hype, you're looking for help. So now I want to walk you through the red flags that you need to watch for before you sign anything. And here are some red flags that should make you pause before enrolling in any aesthetic school. These are not always obvious, but once you see them, you can't really unsee them. Red flag number 1 is no talk about what happens after graduation. If a school only talks about getting you your license but says nothing about what happens after you graduate, that's a red flag. Ask them, do they actually help you with job placement? Is there any business training? What support is available when you feel stuck after graduation? If their whole pitch ends with you'll be licensed, then it's just not enough. Getting licensed is the beginning, it's not the destination. Red flag number 2 is no mention of being licensed. If a school is not licensed or even sometimes accredited, you definitely need to run. Licensing means that they're approved by the state. Accreditation means that they meet national standards. It has nothing to do with transferring your hours. However, it can make you eligible for financial aid. Ask directly, are you licensed or accredited? If they dodge both, and they also maybe get defensive, that's your answer. Red flag number 3 is going to be over-promising fast results. You want to be careful when you hear language like get rich with one facial or build a business while you sleep. Listen, beauty is powerful, it's profitable, and it's a great industry. But anything that promises you overnight success with no strategy, that's marketing, it's not mentorship. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is a template and not a transformation. Red flag number 4 is going to be that they make you feel small or rushed. You should never feel pressure to enroll. If they say things like, we won't have another class, or we don't know when the next class is going to be, you need to enroll today or you'll lose your spot, that's not empowerment. That's manipulation, okay? So choosing a school is a big deal, and you deserve to feel informed, not concerned. Real schools empower you to ask questions. Scammers will rush you to sign papers. So here's what to look for instead. Here's what a good school will do. They'll encourage you to ask questions. They'll explain accreditation and licensing and if they need it or if it applies to them. They'll walk you through what happens after graduation. They'll show you proof and not just promises. You're not just picking a program, you are picking your future. So make sure it's one that's built to support your real life, not just your Instagram feed. Now that we've discussed all of this, I want to break down something that's often misunderstood. The difference between being licensed, accredited, and just cute on Instagram. So let's go. Okay, this part is important because a lot of people get confused by it. Just because a school looks good online does not mean that it's legit. Here's the big difference between being licensed, accredited, and again, just being cute on Instagram. Let's break it down. Licensed means state approved. To operate legally, a school must be licensed by the state. And this means that they meet the minimum standards to teach, track your hours, and help you qualify for the actual license. But just being licensed, that's really the minimum and the minimum requirement for any state. Licensed schools can still use outdated curriculum, not have updated materials. You have no real world training, and they just really are there to help you pass the test. License just means legal. It doesn't mean that their curriculum is actually effective. Accredited means nationally recognized accreditation is a step above licensing. This means that the school has been reviewed and approved by a national organization that checks for curriculum quality, instructor standards, career outcomes, student success rates, and so on and so on. So it's also the key to financial aid eligibility. It doesn't have anything to do with transferring your hours or certifications or anything like that. But if you want more options after school or want to level up later, accreditation sometimes does matter. Now, if it's just cute on Instagram, they got great branding, aesthetically pleasing, it doesn't mean the education is great. Some schools use filters and flex culture to cover up real problems. Poor graduation rates, no job placement, no accountability, and no real structure. Before you fall for the feed, ask for facts. Don't confuse curated with credible. So here's what makes Dolly Monroe different. Here at DMBA, we're not just licensed, we are nationally accredited. We follow state laws, we exceed national standards, we train our educators and support you long after you graduate. That's what makes us different. Not just the pink walls and the pretty products, although we do love those too. It's the structure, it's the support, it's the strategy behind the sparkle, okay? So now I want to explain how hybrid education actually works so that you can stop assuming that beauty school has to take over your entire life. Let's go. Here's what makes hybrid aesthetic school work and why traditional schools keep you stuck. Let's talk about something that most beauty schools don't want to explain. Hybrid education. When done right, and our keyword is right, hybrid training is a game changer, especially for students who are balancing real life, real jobs, and real goals. But when people hear hybrid, they assume one of two things. Oh, that must be online only and it's not hands-on, or it must be easier or less legit. What hybrid actually means at DMBA is that hybrid doesn't mean that you're on Zoom all day. It means that your theory or your textbook side of things is done online on your schedule and your hands-on training is done in person at our campus. We still hold you accountable, we still track your hours, we still train you to pass all of your exams, and we still hold ourselves to national standards because we are accredited. But instead of forcing you to sit in class 5 days out of the week, we let you build your schedule around your life. We don't train you to quit your job. We train beauty pros who have jobs. So here's why traditional schedules keep you stuck. Let's say that you're working a 9-to-5, raising kids or caregiving. You can't necessarily commit Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for 8 months straight. But that's exactly what many traditional schools require. So what happens? People drop out, people delay, starting for many years, or they enroll, they burn out, and then they regret it. That's not accessibility. That is outdated. Traditional beauty schools were built for lifestyle. Most of us don't live anymore. So what hybrid makes possible because of our hybrid model? You can keep your current job. You don't need childcare 5 days out of the week. You can work around your life, not against it, and you still get licensed and not shortchanged from an accredited institution. And this is education built for now, not 1987. So if your biggest fear has been, I want this, but I can't afford to stop my life, you don't have to. Hybrid doesn't mean easier, it means that it's possible. So now I'm going to help you figure out if you're actually ready for aesthetic school, even if you don't feel like it, because it's not about having it all together. It's about starting where you are with the right support. So here's how to know if you're ready for beauty school, even if you don't feel like it. Let me tell you something. I wish that someone would have told me when I was stuck between daydreaming about becoming a beauty professional and doubting if I was really ready. You don't have to quit your job. You don't have to have it all together. You just have to start somewhere with the right structure behind you. The truth is that most of our students didn't feel 100% ready when they started. They were working full-time jobs, raising kids, coming out of toxic workplaces, starting over in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, nervous that they wouldn't be good at it. But you know what made the difference? They didn't enroll out of perfection. They enrolled with a plan. So readiness does not equal having to have it all figured out. It's not about being perfect. It's about being willing to commit to your growth. So here's what readiness really looks like. You're tired of feeling stuck. You're craving something of your own. You're willing to learn, show up, and follow through, even if it means you do it imperfectly. Ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. Your "I'm not ready" beliefs, let me debunk those for you. I can't afford it. Well, guess what? We offer weekly payment plans, financing options, and enrollment support. If you say, "Oh, I'm not the school type," neither were 90% of our graduates. Our hands-on flexible training was built for them. What if you fail? But what if you don't? What if this is the first time you actually follow through on something? Your fear is valid, sweetheart, but so is your future. And real talk, one of our students and graduates told me I enrolled terrified and that I wouldn't make it, and I graduated with confidence and I didn't even know who I was anymore. You don't have to feel brave to take the first step. You just have to take it with the right support system. Confidence doesn't come first, it comes from action. So now I'm going to actually walk you through what your first 90 days could potentially look like if you pick the right school the first time. You'll be shocked at how quickly your life can change when the training fits your lifestyle. So here's what your first 90 days can look like if you choose the right school. You didn't quit your job. You didn't wreck your routine. You didn't lose yourself trying to make it, but you're in it. You're actually doing it. Okay? Month 1, you're enrolled. You've logged into your student portal. You're watching your first theory lessons on your time, not someone else's clock. You're learning about skin histology, sanitation, and real treatment protocols without the overwhelm. You're getting messages from your educator. You're in a private group chat with all of your other students and classmates. You're studying, yes, but you're also smiling. Because for the first time in a long time, this actually feels possible. The first 30 days aren't about being perfect. They're about showing yourself that you can do this. During month 2, you're practicing. You've scheduled your first hands-on day and your first clients at the campus. You're nervous, but you're also prepared. You meet with your educator in person. You clock your first live model facial, and you hear from your educator, "You got this." You're learning dermaplaning, extractions, basic touch therapies, consultation protocols. You walk out tired, but also proud. And there's nothing like the first time your hands remember what your heart already knew. Month 3, you're evolving. You're managing your time better. You've gotten feedback. You've improved your technique. You're starting to think like a beauty professional and not just a student. You're asking the right questions like, what niche do I focus on? How can I turn this into my full-time career? What do I want my brand to feel like? You're booking your final hours and you're preparing for your final exam. And the first time forever, you're seeing the finish line. It's only been 90 days, but everything's changed. And the best part, you're not doing it alone. You've got your instructors who actually answer your messages. You've got your classmates who cheer you on. You've got a school that was designed to support your life, not steal it. This is what aesthetic school can look like. You just have to pick the right place to actually grow. You don't need more time, you need the right timeline. So now I'll show you exactly how to enroll without quitting your job, drowning in debt, or putting your dreams on hold for another year. So let's wrap this up the right way. Here's how to enroll without quitting your job or drowning in debt. This is the part that most people don't talk about. How do I actually start when I still have a job, bills, kids, and anxiety about money? Let's break it down with zero fluff and zero pressure. First, we work with your life at Dolly Monroe. We don't ask you to rearrange your life to fit a broad schedule. We designed our schedule to fit your real life. We offer hybrid programs, so you only come in for hands-on training. We have full-time and part-time options available. You can complete the theory portion online around your job, kids, or other responsibilities. And most of our students, they keep working while they train. No need to quit, no need to panic. You don't need to quit your job, you just need the right format. Second, we make tuition doable. Tuition is real, but so are your options. We offer weekly or bi-weekly payment plans, in-house financing with no credit required, scholarship opportunities, and enrollment assistance. Most of our programs are completed in 2 to 5 months. That means that your timeline to success is short and your payments can match your budget. Now, your dream doesn't have to wait for perfect credit or perfect timing either. Third, we support you through the process so that you don't need to figure this out on your own. Our admissions team is here to guide you through the enrollment paperwork, your payment plan setup, your orientation support, okay, all of this before day one. We don't just give you a checklist, we walk beside you step by step. So this isn't just a school, it's support, structure, and a second chance to do it your way. So if you've been thinking, this is what I want, but I don't know how to start, you don't need to have all the answers. You just need to make the first move. Now, I'll recap our next steps and show you exactly how to take that leap with clarity and confidence. So let's recap. If you're comparing aesthetic schools, you now know the 3 biggest mistakes future students make, the red flags to avoid, why licensing sometimes may not be enough, and what accreditation actually means, how hybrid education can give you freedom and structure, and what real readiness looks like. Spoiler, you already have it. You also know what your first 90 days will look like right through school and how to enroll without quitting your job or drowning in debt. You've got the blueprint now. The only thing missing is your decision. Listen, I know it's scary to make a big change, but the truth is you already know that this is what you want. You've been thinking about it for weeks, months even. You've watched all the reels, you've imagined what it would look like and feel like to say, I'm a licensed esthetician. This isn't about being ready, this is about being willing. You don't need a perfect plan, you just need to take the first step. And we're here to walk it with you. Your next step would be to book your free academy tour with Dolly Monroe Beauty Academy. We can do it virtually or in person. On the call, we'll walk you through what program fits your life, what schedule works best, what payment options match your budget, and how to get started without overwhelm. I want you to either DM us or comment down below the word enroll, and we'll help you schedule your tour today. This is your permission slip, not just a dream, but to take action behind it. And we'll be honored to help you build your beauty career from the inside out. You don't have to have it figured out alone. Let us help you make this your year.